All right, good day to you people. How's everybody doing? Well, what's going on today is that we're going to go ahead and create a level. So we're going to be doing levels now, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of all these other ones for now, all these other asteroids, okay? We're just going to start with one large one for right now. Later on, we can add more, and I'll show you how. Several ways to do this. I'm going to pick the easiest one for me. Easiest one for me because I'm trying to teach you guys the easiest way to create this. Right now, we currently have two scripts. Let me see what this one looks like right now. So we are pretty much overloading these scripts, which is okay. But for you guys, we probably don't want to do that. So I'm probably going to do something else here. 152 lines. That's not too bad. Okay. Wow. All right. So we might go ahead and do something. What I like to do is create an empty game object. So we're going to go ahead and do a create empty. We're going to rename this to game manager. Okay. So this empty game object, because we are object oriented scripting and gameplay, so we need to create an object for that to be able to hold this new script that we're going to do. So you're going to go ahead and create a new script. You're going to name it Game Manager, capital G, no space, Manager, capital M. Okay. And then go ahead and create it. Once you create it, usually what happens is they turn into this right here. Okay, so don't freak out when it does that. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just go ahead and throw it inside your game manager, a game object, and now your game object should have the script. Okay. Okay, I realized I had a little error going on in my game manager because I had some old scripts that were interfering with it. I've used game manager before. I find it very easy. So yeah, an old game manager script that was laying around in here was interfering with the one that I just created. So I went ahead and deleted that. So when you create game manager and game manager script, yeah, you'll still get this wheel. You put it in here, you should see the game manager right there. Okay. So the next thing, I just want to clear out this mess right here. We want to go ahead and go into the game manager script itself. Okay. Whenever an All right, so what we need to do is establish on our game manager how many asteroids we're going to have. So we need to go ahead and create a variable up here. As you guys know, they're created in a public class. This will be a public integer, and I'm going to name it number of asteroids. Number of asteroids. Okay. And the next thing I need to do is kind of establish a link between this one and the asteroids, right? So we're going to go ahead and go to the asteroid script, and we're going to go ahead and come up here. We're going to go ahead, and the way this is going to work, folks, it's going to be counting pretty much. So when we destroy the large one, it's going to break up into two mediums. When I destroy my medium, it's going to break up into two smalls. So and then when I hit my small, nothing is spawned there. So what we're doing here is just keeping tab of that on that count for right now. So what I'm going to do is create in the asteroid script a public, and this one I'm going to call, I believe it's game manager. So I'm going to name it Game Manager, and it's going to be public. And just do GM there, okay, at the end. All right, so the variable's name is Game Manager, and it's going to be this right here, okay? All right, so the next thing we need to do is establish that link. Just like we did here, we're going to do find a player, but instead of using a tag, we're going to do something a little different, okay? So we're going to come here, we're going to type in GM, just like we have up there, and GM equals, and let me see, let me move this out of the way. GM equals game object, okay, because that's what we're looking for, the game object. And it's going to be dot find object of type is what we're looking for. Object of type, there it is. And what we're going to put here is the name, but we need this first, and we also need parentheses, okay? So inside these greater than, less than symbols, we're going to put the name of what we're looking for, and that is the Game Manager script. So Game Manager, no spaces, okay? So now it knows that it's going to be looking for that. Real quick way to test it is we're going to go and we're going to go to, let's save this real quick. We're going to go back to our game. Our asteroids, when they come into existence, they will have the GM and the inspector. And when we hit play, we should see the Game Manager script take place in there. Okay, so let's take a look real quick at Asteroid Large. Asteroid Large right now has no Game Manager, but when I hit the play button, I should see the Game Manager populate that. And there it is. So it's working. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go back into our Game Manager script. We're going to go ahead and do a few things here. First, let's get rid of this here. And let's delete that. What we're going to do here is we're going to create a void. Okay, so let's give ourselves some room. Public void. And I'm going to name this update the number of asteroids. So update the number of asteroids. Okay. And that's going to have, I'm going to go ahead and put an argument in here. Integers equal change. Okay. And then let's give it its brackets that it justly deserves. In here, we're going to put number of asteroids. Oh, I misspelled asteroids. Okay, number of asteroids. So number of asteroids is going to be plus or equals to. Plus or equals 2, and that's going to be change. So every time there's a change, we're going to have to know exactly how many asteroids are coming into the thing, but I'm going to show you a way to have it count for you. Okay, and that's closed out. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. So what we're telling it again is number of asteroids, update the change. So we need somehow for it to count, right? This count is actually going to be happening inside the asteroid script. So we're going to go right here. So whenever we have large asteroid, we are destroying the large, but adding 2, right? Technically adding one more. It's going from 1 to 2, so we're adding 1. So what we need to do is get the game manager to update the asteroid, update the number of asteroids, which is right there, and we're going to tell it to do it by 1. Okay, and we put the number 1 there, close that out, and it's doing the same thing for the medium. So when I destroy a medium, I'm getting again 2 asteroids, so the count is increasing by 1. So we're going to go ahead and just copy paste this, Control C, and we're going to put it right here for the medium ones, for when we spawn the small ones, right? Now for the small ones, because we are taking away, we're going to go ahead and subtract 1, right? So that would be a -1. Okay, so this is the way we keep track of our counts of asteroids. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's let it update. All right, so once it updates, let's go ahead and test it. Right now, the count should be 1. Okay, and right now, did I let it update? Let me see. What am I looking at? I need to look at the game manager. Okay, that's why. So, game manager right now, number of asteroids should be 1, right? We're going to start off with the 1. I'm going to go ahead and play. Okay, I thought it had already updated, but I guess not. All right. Oh, what happened there? All right, having some technical difficulties. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I had a little glitch there, so go ahead and let's take a look now. I'm going to start off with 1 asteroid. I'm telling it I'm starting off with 1, and there it is, the 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit play. It was working for me, so let's see if it works now. And right now we currently have 1. I shoot, I got 2 asteroids. I should have 3 asteroids. My counter is working. And I should have 4. Yes, I have 4 asteroids now. I am down to 1. Awesome. So my counter is working. All right, and hopefully yours is too. All right, so now if you got that working, let's go ahead and jump back onto our game manager script. All right, so starting from the top, now that we know that we have a counter, we're good to go. It's counting for us. We can go ahead and start increasing our levels. As we get rid of all the asteroids, we can go ahead and jump levels, okay? So it's very important on the number of asteroids that you start off with. I'm going to start off with 1. That's my example. If you're going to start off with 2, if you're going to start off with 3, just keep in mind that what I'm going to use is a multiplication of times 2. So if you're starting off with say 2, you're going to times it times 2. So you get next level will be 4, so on and so forth. Okay, and it's always going to be multiples of multiplied by 2. I'm going to start off with 1, and it's going to go to 2, then it's going to go to 4, and then it's going to go to 8. So it's going to increase that way, its difficulty. Okay, so the way that's going to work is we're going to go ahead and first give it a public int, and this one will be level number. Okay, level number, and we're going to go ahead and start it off with 1. Okay, so this first one will be level 1. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and change. Good. And what we're going to do is we're going to create another void. Okay. So we need to go ahead and go outside of this area here. Start another void. And this one will be starting a new level. Okay, so it'll be public. Make sure it's public. That way it pops up on your shortcuts. Public void. And this one is going to be start new level. Okay. No arguments there. And give it its brackets. Shift. There it is. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do here is number of asteroids when the countdown goes to 0. So we need to go ahead and provide an if statement here. All right, so let me provide an if. Okay, number of asteroids, which is right there, is equal less than or equal to 0. Then what are we going to do? So it's an if statement, so we need some brackets here. All right, so that takes care of that. Then it's going to go to this public void. I think I went too far here. Okay. All right, so remember, public class needs its own set of brackets. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's why I did that. So what do I want the level to increase? Well, I want the level to increase by 1. So level number, okay, will be what I call it, level number, which is right there because we created it up in line 8. Level number, and we're going to do a plus plus. So, for those of you that remember your math class, plus plus, it's going to increment by 1 at all times. Okay. Once that is gone, we're going to go ahead and give it a loop. So every time the next level is ready, you're always going to multiply by 2. So 4. Okay. And what I did there, guys, I did tab, but if you tab again to the third time, it's going to go to length, and I'm going to change that to level number. Okay. So level number, and I'm going to multiply that by 2. Okay. So every time it completes its cycle of asteroids getting to 0, it's going to increase its level number and asteroids by 2, okay, or times 2. So if I have 1 times 2 will equal 2, 2 times 4, or 2 times 2 will equal 4, 4 times 2 will equal 8, 8 times 2 will equal 16. Whew. Feel sorry for the guy who gets to that level. All right. So now the next thing we need to establish is the link to these asteroids because it's got to know where it's going to come from, okay? So that's what we're going to work on next. Okay, so going to do some coding again, okay? What we need to do is identify a game object of asteroid to establish that link between the asteroid count, right? So let's go ahead and create that link by creating a game object. Game object. And this one is going to be asteroid. Okay. All right, so now we need to create a formula. Once we hit 0, right, we're going to multiply by 2, but there's a certain way we need to bring them in, okay? We first need to identify the area that we want to bring them in. So, I'm going to keep it simple. What I'm going to do, unlike the game where the game has them in a circular motion around the player, right? I'm just going to spawn them up here, okay? Why is this updating? But okay. So what I want to do is get those numbers as soon as this thing finishes uploading. I want to get these numbers up here. Okay, so I'm going to spawn my asteroids up here. You may want to spawn them here. That's fine. I don't care. You're just going to have to pay attention to what I'm doing first, and then if you got time and you want to freelance, that's fine too. So the number that I need is for outside this border up here. So I'm going to grab my asteroid and move him up here. Okay, so this area up here is screen top right now. That position is above 12. I'm going to say 12. I'm going to just say 1230. Okay, because we know when they spawn in here, they're going to have all kinds of weird rotations, so they can go anywhere. All right, and the position I'm going to use for my X is going to be 15 and 15. Let me see, just double check here. I'm going to go. I'm going to stick with 15. 15. Okay, that looks good. So, how's that going to work out for us? Well, let's go back in here. All right, so I've got to create a new vector for when they pop up. They're going to instantiate in this new vector. Vector 2. Vector 2. And this new vector is name that I'm going to give it is spawn position. Position, okay. And this is going to be equal to a new position, right? And this new position again is still a vector 2. And the position is going to be random, okay? Random dot range. And that range that I'm going to give it is that first line that I talked about, the top, and that was 15. So it'll be negative 15. I'll go 0.09 all the way to positive 15.09. 09. Okay. And then I'm going to close that parentheses, right? And inside this one, I'm going to put my top level, which is, what did I say it was? I said it was 12. Let me double check that. I'm sorry. My memory is not as sharp as y'all's. So, I'm going to go with 12.1. 12.1. So it'll be 12.1. And we only need the top level. We don't need to spawn any of them at the bottom. So make sure you, I'm going to go ahead and make them all floats just to be on the safe side. We don't want no interference. Okay. And we'll close it out. Okay. Next line. We're going to utilize this spawn position by instantiating. Instantiate. And we're going to instantiate those asteroids. Right? We're going to instantiate that asteroid at the new spawn position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a non-rotational identity, and that is a quaternium dot identity. Okay. It represents a rotation, as you can see right here. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and close that out. All right. We're going to cross our fingers. We're going to save everything. All right. No errors. No errors. So we got the counter. We got the spawner that's going to spawn our new asteroids. And how many is it going to do? It's going to do times 2 every time. All right. So keep that in mind. Once your asteroids reach 0, your next level is going to be times 2. So if you're starting off with a large, a small, and a medium, just think it's going to multiply that, okay? So I would start with, just like the game does, start with a large, start with maybe 2 larges. I'm going to start with 1, okay? I'm going to start with 1. So let's go ahead and test our game out and see what we got, okay? All right, folks, you know what? I just realized I forgot one more piece of the puzzle. We have to call this. We have to, before I totally forgot. This is a function, so we have to call this function. Let's see where we need to call it. If asteroids are 0, so once you hit 0, you want to call this new level. Okay, so we're going to invoke that level. Let's do an invoke. Invoke. Where'd it go? Invoke level. Okay, and what we're doing is we're calling this level by name. And the name of it is start new level. So capital S, starts new level. Okay, and we're going to delay it. I'm going to say about 3 to 5 seconds. This number you can play with. So 3F is what I'm going to play with. And if I think that's too soon, it doesn't give me a chance to catch my breath, then I'll go ahead and change that to more. All right, but this is where you would do that. One last thing. Again, save it. I was about to do that, but then I realized, hey, you know what? I forgot to call this thing. All right, so let's go to, come on, Unity. That's one with me. Clear this console. I think we got everything here. Game Manager. One last thing. We need an asteroid. It doesn't know what to bring in. Make sure you use your prefabs. Use your prefab asteroid that you created, your large one. Grab that sucker and put it in there. Okay, now it knows where it's going to grab them from. If you pick this one, guys, you're gonna have faults. Trust me. Yeah, I've seen it before. It's happened. So let me move this asteroid back here. Let's go ahead and start getting ready to test. All right, but before we test, I think I forgot to tell it to increase the numbers. So one more thing, and I think we're ready. One more thing, just to be sure. Okay, let me go over this code one more time. Level 1. Okay, yes, I did forget to tell it to increase its number. So what I'm going to do here is number of asteroids, and we're going to do just plus plus. Okay, and that will allow it to increase the number when it increases level. All right, so oh my goodness, let's try it out now. Okay. All right, cross your fingers, cross your toes, clear out any yellow stuff you may have there. So I'm gonna one, two, three. Nice. Now what I did notice was that it gave me 4. All right, so it's working. Let me check my number count real quick. Where is my game manager? So it says I got 1 asteroid left. And sniper. All right. 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. Wow. All right, guys. I had enough fun there. So that concludes our part. Oh, what are we on? Part 10. I've been having some difficulty, so I'm remaking all these videos. The other ones seem to be damaged. My old software that I had them stored in got decomposed, so some of the files didn't make it through. and it looks like it's the last couple of videos that we have for this one. So like and subscribe, please, and if you have any comments, please make sure you make your comments in the YouTube channel that I provided for you. uh, Thank you very much. Have a great day.